Industry Insider is only available at PromoCorner, the leader in digital marketing for the promotional products industry. Now, it's time for PromoCorner's Industry Insider.
Hey, that's us, and we're live.
That was so cool.
We are up to platinum level. We made it to platinum level.
Yes. So yeah, new setup, new I guess new clothes, new whatever you want to call it. We're fancy now. So anyhow, we are the Industry Insider, and we are live again. My name is Jeff Franklin, National Accounts Manager with Headwear USA, and joined today by three other lovely folks. But before we get to them, this top-notch platinum level broadcast that you're tuning into is brought to you by our good friends over at Tervis. So Meg, aka Vanna White, if you've got yours, go ahead and wave it around there. Yeah, so Tervis has been around since 1946, and they're celebrating 75 years in business. They started with their classic line. They've got sleek styles that make perfect for the active and on-the-go lifestyle. Tervis is the original double-wall insulated drinkware that keeps cold drinks cold and reduces that condensation. Backed by a made-for-life guarantee, Tervis is the original customizable double-wall insulated drinkware that keeps your hot drinks hot and your cold drinks cold. They're available in several sizes, including a 16-ounce mug, 16 or 24-ounce tumbler, and a 24-ounce water bottle. Made from Triton plastic, made in America, lifetime warranty, dishwasher, and microwave safe. They're BPA-free, so go check them out at tervispromos.com. Tell them the Industry Insider sent you, and tell them how you love that we're now doing this incredible platform and broadcast. We've got like an official setup and intro and all that good stuff. So Brendan, thank you for the back end support today. Why don't we say hi to Meg Erber? Meg, how are you doing? I mean, before you get cut off, we should probably say hi.
I know. I'm doing really good. My IT guy is actually working on my computer today, so I'm super stoked about that. So hopefully never not have any more of those cutouts. Week 2, going back to jiu-jitsu, I am like covered in bruises. I love it, but I hurt. So otherwise, pretty good.
Yep. And if you're tuning in, you can also see that the comments are now popping up on the screen during the live broadcast as well. So feel free to chime in and say hello. Jeremy, how are you? Steve McFadden, how are you doing today?
Doing great. It's nice, sunny, hot weather. I'm loving it.
Yeah. What is the temperature where you're at?
I think it's like a nice 77 and sunny. And
wow.
It's
that's nice. It's
gorgeous.
supposed to be in the 60s here today, so I'm happy about that. I'm not going to complain. So yeah. No complaints at all. I'm ready for it to get there and stay there. And then when it gets to about 80, I'll be bitching that it's too hot. So, Matt, how are you doing today?
Good. Doing great. Thank you.
Wonderful. Well, I know that we're going to talk PPEF today. We've got a lot of great info coming, but you are from Fields Manufacturing, and it is a customary step for us to give our special guest a good 3 to 4 minutes to introduce yourself, maybe how you got started in the promotional products industry, and what the hell you've been up to since. So take it away, Matt.
Again, I'm Matt Bertram, president and owner of Fields Manufacturing. I started in the industry in about 1995. Second generation, purchased Fields Manufacturing from my father, Chris, about 20 years ago. So we currently have 2 locations, one in St. Cloud, Minnesota, and one in Owasso, Michigan. And we love the industry, are passionate about promotional products. On a kind of a side note, I also am a assistant hockey coach for a Division I men's hockey team, St. Cloud State University. So,
oh, cool.
Nice. On my side time, whenever I work with that, so it kind of keeps me a little bit young because I'm getting old, and I'm just passionate about working with young men and women on athletics. So it's been great.
That's super cool. Love hockey, by the way. Ellie, you say you're from Minneapolis. We love that you're here joining us today as well. So Matt, why don't you tell us, because you just mentioned that PPEF is the applications are officially open, but why don't we just get like a brief foundation of what PPEF is? Because as you know, this is the industry full of acronyms, and there may be some folks out there listening that don't know what PPEF is. So give us a brief introduction of what that is, and then we can launch into the topic.
So PPEF stands for Promotional Products Education Foundation. And it was started in about 1989. Currently this year I am the chair, so that's kind of my responsibility with the group. We have a tremendous board of trustees.
Oh, come on now. We know Steven's on the board. I can't
I was gonna say.
Tremendous.
Yes. Thank you. Appreciate
Just a bunch of people passionate about the industry and about giving back. And this is, we always say this is all about the kids, and it really is at the end of the day. So over the last, since 1989, PPEF has awarded in scholarships to 1,488 students over $2,700,000 in scholarships. So it's serious money. It's a great way for our industry to give back. And it also helps bring people into the industry, lets them know a little bit of what we do. But for us, we do right around the same amount of need-based and also merit-based. So that's another big focus that we've had over the last 5 to 10 years, is really up the number of need-based scholarships that we give out every year. Last year, we gave out 130 new scholarships and 32 renewal scholarships, and that totaled $290,000. And this year in 2022, we'll give out $299,000 in scholarships. Most of these scholarships are single-year scholarships. We do have some, like I said, probably around 20% are multi-year scholarships that are renewed. But a lot of what we do is one-year scholarships. And a couple of changes for this year is that we've dropped the ACT or SAT requirement. And we're also really trying to get the word out to individuals, young men and women that are going to, 2-year more service type post high school education processes. So that's the other thing that we're really trying to get the word out this year as well.
I really think that's going to be beneficial, because I know a lot of colleges now don't require an SAT. So if they're just foregoing it completely, then they might have seen that last year or years prior and thought, all right, well, I'm not going to qualify for this. So I think that's really going to open up to a bunch of other, people in this industry, or their children anyway.
That's really what we're trying to do at the end of the day, is just make this as broad as possible, right? And open this up to as many individuals in the industry that tie into our industry as possible, because we want to give to the biggest group possible.
That's awesome. So I know, Meg, I like to harass you about this every year, but since you've got the Brady Bunch over there, how many thousands of dollars could you have saved if you were applying for these scholarships, or your children were applying for these scholarships?
Well, there's 7 of them. One of them is 6. One of them is a senior in high school, and then I have 4 of them right now in college.
Okay.
So, and then one of them's done. So a lot. I mean, even if it's just $1,000, that pays for books. It's every little bit helps. And I know I was pushing them last year to do it, and they didn't. But now, after being on their own for a year and having to eat ramen. I mean, not that I don't give them money, but you got to make them suffer a little bit, just a little bit. We all had to. They understand the value of the dollar.
I still eat ramen on the regular. I'm just a poor fool.
No, I love ramen. I'm not judging. But they understand the value of the dollar more, so they're like, okay, send it to me this year. So I'm excited. My kids are gonna hopefully, apply this year.
That's awesome.
Well,
Rich Graham chimed in and he said, yes, finally live on YouTube. Nice work. Well, apparently we're live on YouTube as well, guys. I didn't know.
Cool.
Thanks for letting us know we're live on YouTube.
Meg, you're not only going to go viral on TikTok, you're also now going to be viral on YouTube. So
maybe I'll be number 2 next year.
Yep. Sweet. Is that a sly to
No, actually.
Didn't
he say Dale say that this was going to be the last year when he was on our sorry, not switching topics completely, but I think Dale was on last year around this time talking about his online 18, and he said this was going to be the last year, but I didn't hear anything.
I think he said he was going to pass the torch to somebody.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Maybe
you don't know who you need to bribe yet.
Yeah,
you gotta wait a little bit, figure it out.
Yep. So very cool. Well, I know I've got a few questions. Obviously, I know because you said you're giving away more money this year than you have in years prior, and we did a big push for PPEF last year around direct to you, because obviously you guys do a huge, a lot of your contributions are actually done through Expo, and there was a concern that with not having that as an in-person event that that may affect things, but it sounds like everything went really well again this year with the drive. So maybe you can give us some information about that, donors and all that good stuff.
Well, yes, I would say through the pandemic that fundraising has been a big challenge, right? And we all in our own companies and our own daily life have had to make changes, make decisions, be a little bit tighter with regards to finances overall, right? But we as a foundation made an effort that we were going to make sure that we were able to give at the levels that we've given in the past. And we did that, through setting up budgets that made sense and that would work for us. But you're right. For us, I would say the big push this year is kind of coming back to fundraising, asking the industry to give back where they can. We brought back the golf tournament because the expo was live in Las Vegas. So that helped fundraise a good amount of money. We also have a lot of named scholarships that people are starting to put together, and those named scholarships are typically at a higher level financially. So that allows us to keep affording to give out the money that we're giving out on a yearly basis.
Yeah, and I know Promo Corner and Promo Show are putting in the comments. If you guys are listening and not able to see the comments, it's ppef.us/donate if you're interested in helping out with that cause as well. So why don't you maybe give us some background or maybe some of your favorite things about being on the board for PPEF? Like, why did you get involved?
Chris Lovell called me about 4 years ago and said that, I didn't know much about PPEF. And so she kind of explained what it was. And it sounded interesting to me. I have 3 children. And at that point, our oldest was just starting high school. And I thought, gosh, what a great foundation that the industry does that tries to bring money together for people that can use it for secondary education. So I thought it was a great concept, great idea, got into the board, really enjoyed the people that were on the board and the energy that was in it. And I've enjoyed it ever since. And they asked if I would chair this year. And I said, sure, why not? Again, not really knowing, it's like so much of what we do, right? You don't totally know what you're getting into at the end of the day.
He didn't know I was joining
exactly
before he accepted that position. So.
But the cool thing about it is again, what this is for, right? And it's such a great cause, and I'm, everybody, all the trustees are very impassioned about what we're trying to do, and so that energy just kind of helps us keep going. We have a great executive director in Sarah Beasley, and she does an awesome job kind of coordinating and keeping everything together and making sure that we're on the right direction. So it's been really exciting to see what we've been able to do and continue to do through some tough times. The last couple of years, like we said before, were challenging, but we were able to come up with a game plan that was able to put out a good amount of scholarships for people that could use it.
Matt, can you walk us through the process of what it looks like on the back end? So let's say, we get this out there, their kids start applying. What does it look like from the board? Like once those applications start coming in, is it just like one and done? One person looks at it? Does the entire board look at it? How does that work?
That's a great question. So we have a team. We have actually a scholarship committee. Now it's actually technically a work group, but we have a group on the board that focuses on this process. And then we also reach out to people in the industry. So if anybody out there is like, gosh, I would love to be involved in something like this, and I don't really know what I could do, one of the ways is to reach out to us and say, hey, I'd love to read some of these applications, because it's I think last year, I just need to look this up. Last year we received 466 completed applications. So you can see it's a pretty good number to go through in a small amount of time. So it's basically done by a team that looks at these applications, reads the essays, and then scores all of these, and then we compile the scores, put it together, and that's how we decide who receives the scholarships for the upcoming year.
I'm happy to give a little testimonial to that as well. I was looking to get involved, and they said, yeah, actually, we need some help reviewing the applications. So it's funny, through the podcast, I learned about PPEF, reached out to PPEF, started helping them with the applications, and now I'm on the board. But that process of reviewing is very rewarding, and I would definitely encourage anyone that wants to do something to help with this organization. Even if you can't give financially, you can give some of your time. It's a great way to see like all the amazing stories of the kids and hear what they're going through and how you can help. But that review process is like you said, Meg, it's as a member that helped review, we reviewed like 35 to 40 in phase 1 and about 30 in phase 2. But each of those applications get reviewed by multiple people, and they're aggregated together to come up with scores. And so it's a full process. It's pretty well done.
Was there anything in the past that really stood out to you that everyone was like slam dunk, or was it just like, what are some of the things that really stand out that help push the process along or help kind of maybe like qualify that person? I'm not only asking for myself, obviously, but for everybody, because I feel like these would be questions people would want to know.
I mean, honesty. You can't oversee honesty with some of these essays. I mean, I really think the stories that are super transparent really resonate with a lot of people. I mean, but each component has different pieces to it. So there's the content of it, and then there's also how well was it written and how well did it convey that. So there is a scoring like if it was an educational assignment. But each thing has its different weights and different scores. And they try to, as Matt was mentioning earlier, there's some that are merit based and there's some that are need based. So there's different levels to the application process internally that goes on. And I don't even know all those details, but it's great. Yeah.
I would add to that too, just real quick, that when you're reading these essays and you see how 17, 18, 19-year-old young men and women can put thoughts together and express things, and it's pretty amazing and pretty rewarding to see all of the excellent young individuals we have out there that tie into this industry. So it's a really neat experience. The one thing I would say, if you're watching this, and Meg, you had mentioned maybe for your children, the one big suggestion is proofread what you write, right? So, spelling errors, grammatical errors, things like that definitely gets in the way when you're trying to read something like this. So the big suggestion is say it from the heart, but also make sure that it's reread a couple times so that it's presentable.
Understood, because sometimes people write how they speak.
Yes.
And then if they're just proofreading themselves, they're not going to say it, but a fresh set of eyes on that might help. I got you. So I'm looking at some of the donors for this year, and there's some incredible, maybe this was last year's, I'm not really sure. But I mean, you had I guess that's probably one of the scholarships, the particular scholarships, is it the Almond Bow Carroll? Is that an Almond Bow Carroll scholarship? That's a hefty amount.
It is. And so we were tied into a trust.
Okay.
And so when something like that happens, when that person passes, then the money is then separated and broken up technically. And so we were given a nice size amount from that. So that's a way that we receive money in. But a lot of, I would say our core goes back to the industry of, individuals. Even if you just give $100 a year, it really adds up, right? We have a number of people in our industry. So if everybody gives $100, that adds up quite a bit. And then we do have corporate asks as well. And typically those are a 6-year commitment. And we ask for either levels over $1,000 a year or $3,000 a year and up. So that's another way that companies can give as well.
Yeah, I was just going to add, being on the marketing side of this and learning about the history of it over the past few years, what's optimistic is there's a lot of room to grow. The organization even used to be larger, I think, pre-COVID with the total dollar amounts, and seeing that the industry is coming back. I mean, I would make a direct ask to people to say, hey, try to reconsider this again into your budgets now that business is booming again. The amount of impact you can have without having to do really a lot of work is amazing. I mean, you can get involved very easily, and you can have such a huge impact on the industry. And keep in mind too, the more we have, the more we can give away. So it's not like it gets saved and put aside. It's, when we have $400,000 and $500,000, that's that many more kids we can help. So that's a strong push we're going to be having through this application period, which is only 13 days away, by the way. Nudge, nudge, Meg, tell your kids. But into the next year, because really, I think it does take a full year cycle to get people to reintroduce that back into their budget, and for us to then prepare for the future year. And as it relates to applications, being that we've tried to make it more broad with community colleges and types of trade schools, and removing the SAT and ACT, I would expect applications to be more so than they ever have. And I think part of our gap, and what we would encourage everyone to do, is to use some of the resources that we've provided, which is, it's hard to reach those that are in the factory. It's hard to reach those at the CSR level. It's very easy to contact a salesperson because they're in email lists. We've got some of that stuff. We don't have the ability to connect with your 1,000 employees on the manufacturing floor, but they're eligible, right? So all of those people that have kids are eligible. And that's where we really need the most help. Like, we need companies to take initiatives to bring this into their HR, to offer this as a service. Be like, hey, how cool is this? You're part of the promotional products industry. Like, you can qualify for scholarships. What are the strings attached? Nothing. Like, just go on and apply. So we have resources that we've created. There's flyers in multiple languages as well, so you can put them out into the factories. We've got emails that we can give you. We've got resources we can send you. So I know it's only 13 days away, but that's not too late to fill out this type of an application. I mean, I would expect to get a huge rush here towards the end.
Yeah.
And then Stephen, at the end, that's when we get most of our applications coming in. I think that's a great point you made, in that it doesn't take that much time to fill this out, right? And to get it in. And there's a lot of value in doing that at the end of the day.
That's awesome.
Very cool.
Yeah. Thank you. Is there anything else? Was there any other anything we missed when it comes to this? I feel like there's so much more, but it was pretty easy today.
Stephen, you got anything from your standpoint?
No, I mean, it's really refreshing to see, like, what it is that the organization does and how easy it is to be a part of it. I mean, I think that there is a gap, as I mentioned, of just that transparency through the industry, like to penetrate actually the industry itself. And, this is a start, and this is, where we can start to give information to folks, but really we need people to kind of own it and take it on themselves to then bring it internal. Because there's just no great way with that, we're just volunteers. We can't go door to door inside of all the factories and give them the information. So it's going to be on the people that hear the message to help pass along the information and help get more people applied. We actually had a coworker who was their child was a beneficiary. This was probably 5 years ago. And they're like, amazing. Like, it was an amazing blessing for them. So that could be a story for a lot of people in the industry. So,
Well, you know what? It's funny that you said that, Stephen, because Ellie had posted saying her son received a PPEF scholarship a couple of years back, and he's now in our industry, unless he has multiple sons, but he's Folly Coffee. They're actually going to be on the podcast in a couple of weeks. I'm not really sure, but I'm excited about that. He's killing it. And he's doing it's just, I'm like proud of him. I don't even know him, but he's like, he's really cool stuff. I wanted to also say that if you are looking to pass this information along to your factory workers or the customer service team, if you go to the website, the ppef.us, if there's a tab that says what's new, and it gives you all of that information. It gives you how much you guys are looking to donate, how to get the flyers to pass along to your HR department, and information and photos from past winners. So you guys put it all together, and you also put a one-pager out there, which this year I felt like it was very useful. I'll post it on the comments, or maybe Brandon will, but
already done.
Oh, it's already up. Okay, so it's a good one pager, and it has everything that you need to know, which was really beneficial. I think it kind of cleans it up for people who are curious, who aren't sure what the catch is, where they can go get more information. So yeah.
And I'll put a challenge out there. If anyone wants to print off one of those flyers and send us a picture of it in their factory and stuff, we'll hook you up with something. I don't know what it is.
All right.
But I want to see pictures of that. That'd be super cool to see, like, people actually posting them and putting them out there in their businesses. That'd be cool. Awesome.
Steven, I got you.
Well, and I think that's the big thing here, right? Is just getting the word out, right? There is no catch, right? This is just something that the industry does. And so, getting the word out, posting it in a lunchroom or posting it in an area where people are going by a lot, it does make a difference at the end of the day.
Yeah, Jody Franks just chimed in and said that her son and daughter are both grateful, having been recipients of PPEF scholarships, and they just want to thank everybody that's donated in the past and present. So super awesome. Now, I feel like since we are giving people, this heads up that, the cutoff date is, you said March 15th, correct?
Yep.
For applying for the scholarships. Why don't we give people a timeline of sort of what to expect? So what does this thing look like throughout the rest of the year between the time that they apply and then when things are actually given out?
That's a great question. Holy cow. I have a million pieces of notes, right? So,
Steven, you're on the board. You should know this. Go ahead and give it to us.
I'm on the marketing side.
So,
you don't have anyone on the scholarship side here. They know all that, though.
Exact timeline is, so applications are due the 15th. I believe it takes 4 to 6 weeks. So they're usually told, I believe, May, but I'll confirm that for sure.
Okay.
That sounds right, because I believe I remember doing the review process through April, and then it was awarded a few weeks after that in May.
Yeah.
Cool.
But cool. Send us an email and we'll get back to you.
We'll go with that for right now. We'll go with May.
There's a disclaimer that it is not definite.
That's exactly
not definite.
That's exactly
Very
right.
cool. All right. Well, do you guys have any other questions? I mean, I feel like we should harass and haze Steven a little bit because it's his first year on the as
Who's
a
gonna
trustee,
win,
right?
Steven? Who's gonna win?
Not Meg Erber.
Qualified, amazing individuals.
There you go. That's all right. Well, Matt, thank you so much for coming on today and sharing all your knowledge and the whole process. It's really been enlightening. And Steven, good luck this year on it. I'm excited for you. Reading all those hundreds of essays. That'll be fun.
I saw what you did with Sleeping for Good, and I'm like, you know what? We need something of our own. We got to do something. So I don't know what that is yet, but TBD.
I got you.
just like the information on when the stuff will be done. But yeah, we'll have something up our sleeves coming soon.
Yeah.
Sounds good.
There's a couple of fun things that yes, for sure.
We're gonna tease it just like that.
Yep.
Well, looking forward to that cliffhanger. Very cool. Well, look, we'll stay tuned, and hopefully, it'll be a great year for fundraising. People, look, if you're looking to get involved, whether it's applying for a scholarship or whether you want to get involved and help be a judge and read some of those scholarships to help them out, read some of the applications to help them out with that. Definitely check it out. It's ppef.us, and all the navigation tabs at the top will help you get through through all that. And in the comments, Brendan has been so helpful with posting all those different links as well. So very cool. Well, if you learned anything, well, whether you did or not, this incredible broadcast brought to you by our good friends over at Tervis. They added stainless to their well-established line about 2 years ago, with the goal of being better than the competition by utilizing state-of-the-art custom 360-degree UV printing. It's available in 4 different sizes. They've got 12-ounce, 20-ounce, 30-ounce, or 24-ounce water bottle, and now they've got 24, 30, or 40-ounce wide-mouth bottles, which is great for slipping in ice cubes and things like that, ease of cleaning, all of that good stuff. But they've got a 5-year warranty. They're 18-8 copper lined, vacuum insulated, and they keep your drinks hot for at least 8 hours, and they keep your drinks cold for at least 24 hours, which is pretty awesome. So go check them out at tervispromos.com. Tell them the Industry Insider sent you. And with that being said, we'll see you guys next week. Really appreciate you tuning in. Matt, you were awesome. Thank you so much for joining us and dropping some knowledge on us about PPEF. Good luck to all the applicants, and good luck to you guys judging and reading all of the applications. I'm sure that's very fun.
Thank you.
Absolutely. All right, guys, take care. We'll see you next week.
Thank you for listening to this week's episode of Promo Corner's Industry Insider. For more great content from industry thought leaders, including podcasts, blogs, and videos, visit promocorner.com.